Uh,
The world as we know it has 7 continents. However, a continent that we really don't know about is Africa. Africa is the second largest continent in the world, and many people have preconceived notions about it. The Europeans back in the day called it the dark continent because the people's dark complexions and just they thought they were Neanderthals. However, that's not the case. Africa is a very complex continent. The people so my purpose for this speech is to teach people the truth about Africa and how complex it is so people have a better understanding like I didn't have before I came to my critical issues class and learned. First, I'm going to talk about the people of Africa in general, their cultures and such. Notion about that many Americans, including myself, had were that the African countries were more like states because they were so close. People thought they were just all interconnected. How far? However, that is very far from the truth. And according to George Arnett and Paul Scruton in an article written in 2015, it is very wrong to judge the places and assume they're the same just because proximity. That's exactly what you're not supposed to do. Furthermore, from the same article, Africa has 1.1 billion people over 50 countries and 1,000 different languages. So not only is it wrong to base one continent next to the other, look at not continent, country, but look at one country and see the differences just between that itself. Also from this article written by George Archon and Paul Scruton, Africa is claimed to be a mobile continent, especially in the sub-Saharan region with regards to cash payment and social media. So that means Africa still tries, like the African countries still try to communicate with one another through bank statements, through social media, which just shows just because they have 1,000 languages, they're not just cut off from another in different tribes. They're all interconnected and they all try to get together and be a strong continent. But we can talk all about people and all that, but everyone knows geography plays a huge factor in how people are raised, how continents and countries are made. So Africa is filled with many different lakes, rivers, mountains, deserts, and it's a peninsula, so it has 3 large bodies of water around it. The U.S. only has 2. Keep that in perspective. However, I would like to talk about 2 in particular because we don't have time to talk about all those different things. First is the Nile River. The Nile River was solely a trade and agricultural gold mine in a sense. Egypt really built up from it and allowed Europe and Asia to trade with it, so it did get cultural influence, it got products, it got goods, and it really helped the development of Africa expand. Furthermore, according to The Lure of the Orient, written by Raoul McLaughlin in August 2012, exotic goods were brought through the Red Sea for over 1,000 years. So, as Asia was progressing, as Europe was progressing, Africa was progressing as well. Africa was part of the Industrial Revolution. It was part of all that. And so therefore, the continent really expanded due to the trade, due to the Nile River. However, there is another feature in North Africa that also played a big part in how the continent was built: the Sahara Desert. According to National Geographic's Africa Physical Geography, the Sahara is the world's largest desert, covering 8.5 million square kilometers. That's a lot of sand. But furthermore, because the Nile was able to bring all these different cultures and kind of progress the continent on the west side or on the east side, the Sahara allowed trade through camel caravans to the west side of the continent and also south, where the Sahara cut off into the savanna and the rainforest. And so trade was spread throughout because of the Sahara Desert, thus allowing the entire continent to progress and become more and more powerful and more of a center of global economy. Hopefully from this speech, you guys thoroughly understand what the African continent truly is. And I challenge you guys to take the information I gave you, like my critical issues teacher gave me, and share the knowledge. Share what I've taught you. Even look up more stuff. So that way, we can all come together and have a better understanding of what the world truly is, because there's so much that we just don't know.